Okay, everyone, we're here. We just finished 76's kind of unboxing almost.
It was an unboxing, guys. We just went to the Fallout 76 unboxing. That's what it was. That's what they call it now these days when panels are now called unboxing. There was a lot of new news that came through.
Yeah.
So
we didn't expect that either, because a lot of people that we were talking with, especially like journos and stuff like that, they were like, nah, I don't think there's going to be anything there.
True.
Everyone was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, so I think the first things that they showed off was the perk system. Now, the way this works is that you have your classic special stats that we've seen in the past, and like your strength and perception, agility, whatever. And what you do, every time you level up, you get points in those, okay? Those points become a pool, like a pool of points that you can then spend on cards, okay? Now the cards, you actually choose which card. You can choose a card when you level up. And you also, every 2 levels, you get packs of cards, like booster packs or whatever. And later on, that becomes every 5 levels, okay? So imagine that you go like, okay, cool, I'm gonna put points into strength, and I'm gonna choose to buy something that increases my melee skill. I've got 1 point in strength, my card costs 1 point, no problem, right? Easy, okay?
Yes.
Later on, you can upgrade your cards so they cost more, and that means you need more points in strength to be able to do that. And you can switch all these around. There are apparently hundreds of different cards that you can use, and that's it. That's the backbone of the system.
Before we go on, like, what do you actually think of that system? When I was looking at that, I thought it was quite cool.
I liked it.
Not only can you kind of build a very unique way that you want to play, but it'll also change in your environment.
Totally.
In terms of like how you want to take certain bosses down, if you're playing against other players,
Yep.
if you're playing with other players,
Yep.
if you're by yourself, all that kind of stuff. It looks like every single time you log on, you'll have a different reason to change the cards.
Agreed, yeah. It seems like a very flexible system. The promise of hundreds of different cards implies that there's going to be a lot of choice. The fact that you can switch them whenever you like is great. It does seem like there's going to be a lot of different levels that you're going to be able to. They mentioned level 73 here. They didn't mention a level cap.
I'm guessing it's going to be level 76.
I'm guessing it's going to be in the ballpark 100, but I don't really know. But just the ability to be able to change things on the fly like that, I think is great. And I think as well, they also spoke about the charisma stat specifically and what that means. And it really allows you to become a bit of a buff bot for your team. So if you put points into charisma and you have charisma cards, they provide benefits to your party members, okay? And if you're running with them, they can help you find more ammo or more food or whatever. Like, it's a big bonus to be able to do that. I really love games where I can be the support. I love games where I can be the utility that really like helps the team out. And that system lets me do that. So that just sounds great.
I think the way in which that you uniquely put your cards together almost create potentially like a class system, in terms of if you put enough cards in a certain area, you will become the support, you will become the tank, you can become the DPS.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily about the tank. You can become the melee DPS versus the sharpshooter versus the support, and that just seems like a cool formula.
Yeah, for sure.
The sort of alarm bells that were firing about this was like the perk you can buy. Okay, you get booster packs. Everyone's thinking that you're going to be able to buy these booster packs,
we don't
right?
know yet,
we don't know that yet, but everyone, my Twitter feed just immediately exploded with like, oh my god, perk packs, we're going to buy those, microtransactions.
I think that, every game now that comes out, they're very close to their chest in terms of the microtransaction structure. Until like pretty much close to launch, So we don't know yet though. Who knows?
And I bet large money on the idea they're going to sell these things. Like, it just makes too much sense not to. So how that's going to affect gameplay, what the charges, what the cost is going to be, all that, I don't know. At the end of the day though, you are capped by your level, right? So you could buy like 100 booster packs, okay? And that might get you some better cards that you might want. But if you're capped by your level, you can't equip those. So whether or not if it does happen that you pay for them, whether or not it's going to impact pay to win, I don't know. It's definitely something that I'm watching very closely, because I'm actually pretty pumped for this game, to be honest with you. And if there's anything like that that's going to upset sort of like the raw competitive nature of the game, that is going to be disappointing.
I think that last year, as everyone knows, the whole pay to win saga with Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah, hopefully they don't go down that.
Yeah, maybe they looked at that like, we don't want to do that, and they understood that yes, they might make a lot of money, but it's not the way to do it.
So the other side of things that we started learning about was the PvP side. Now that's a big question mark that a lot of people have had, and the guy actually just asked him, so dude, what's PvP? Just explain it from the top, what is PvP, okay? Now this is a game where you are going to be able to shoot anyone at any time that you encounter, okay? Now, when you first start shooting them, you're not going to be doing much damage to them. It's kind of like a slap to the face. Like that, right?
Thank
Just
you.
like,
they needed to see that.
That's right, it's very important. So that's like a slap, and then if they choose to engage you as well, if both parties agree, then you both start doing full damage, and it's on. Like that's a normal engagement. That's how it works. Okay. If, however, you keep slapping that person, it is possible to kill them with slaps, so to speak.
That's right. But I didn't. Okay, good.
But if you kill someone that doesn't want to engage you, right? If you kill someone that's trying to run away or whatever and they don't want to fight, you are then flagged as like a wanted murderer. You then pop up on other people's maps, and but you can't see other people on the map. They can see you, but you can't see them. And if you get killed, there's a bounty on your head. And
the bounty comes out of your own loot.
Out of the wanted murderer's loot.
Yes.
Okay, right? So it was such an interesting experience for me being in that room.
Yeah, I was like, that's really cool.
No, hang on, pause. Let me finish this thought.
Here we go.
Okay, as a long-time Division.
Warcraft,
Division.
and all that
No,
kind of stuff?
Division. This is the Division, right? Okay.
Yeah.
As a Division fan and as a long-term player, I heard all the cheers of these Bethesda people, and they're like, "Oh my God, the bounty system sounds so awesome! Oh, that's so cool!" And I'm just like, I think I'm in a room of people that have never played the Division. Like that was honestly my thought. I don't think anyone here has played the Division. If anyone's played the Division, they'll know the Dark Zone is almost exactly what was just described, with a few variances for sure.
Yeah.
But like ultimately, that was it. And
did it work? And did it work with Division?
No, absolutely not. Like there was a sort of a portion of the community that loved it because they love that sort of like, I can grief you, I can fuck up your day. Like they love that conflict. And then a lot of other people are like, dude, I just want to have some fun. Why are you fucking up my shit? You know what I mean? Especially with a game like Fallout, you've got a lot of people who are conditioned to the Bethesda universe of single-player RPG games. They want to build a base, they want to gather, they want to chill out. They don't want that conflict. And if you've got a game that doesn't shut that down, if you've basically got the Dark Zone in a Fallout game, I don't know, man. I'm just expecting this to fucking explode at this point.
I feel like they've tried to put the right mechanics in place to punish you for going after people that don't want to engage.
The Division had the same thing. Back in the day, they had a reputation system, and if you went rogue, it would take huge amounts of your Dark Zone reputation from you. Didn't stop people. They still did it.
Sure.
Because people don't care about like their progress and their whatever they got in their pocket. They just want to fuck up people's days.
I think
that's it. That's all they want.
But I think that might, after playing the game for hours and hours, you might want to do it a couple of times. We don't know yet.
No, I'm telling you, there will be thousands of people who just live for this. Like, it's a fact.
We don't know that. Like, we don't actually know
I
that.
played the game that is that.
I know what you're saying, but this one, as you said, has different smaller tweaks.
Maybe.
It could be very different.
Look, I hope it is. I hope it is. I hope they find a better balance because there's, like, I know some people love the Dark Zone, but no one can say the Dark Zone experiment was successful, okay? It was, there's lots to improve. There's no way that Dark Zone experience is final. And this sounds very much like the original Dark Zone from the Division.
Yep.
And if they put it out this way, I reckon this is going to be very interesting. Big oof. They also talked about nukes. Now, in Fallout 76, you can actually like nuke an area of the map. You can nuke someone's base. Apparently, it's not easy to do it, but you can do it. And it will destroy all of their buildings, okay? So people are spending all this time gathering resources, building things, like putting furniture. They're like, should the couch go there? Or should it go there? And they're like, And then like,
the bomb's like, should the bomb
bomb
go
drone.
there?
That's right, yeah. So what they've said is that you can actually sort of like blueprint your structures. So if I build a base and it's all laid out and everything's furnished and whatever else, I take a blueprint of it. And then if it gets blown up by someone, it's very easy to rebuild.
I think that's valuable.
I think that's a great idea. I love that. I think a lot of people are very concerned about the whole base building, griefing thing. And, that's just sort of answers that question,
Yeah.
I think that's a good solution.
I think that you don't want to create, a mechanic where people, feel like they've put a lot of work into something, they've uniquely kind of put their own kind of stamp or character into something, and they can just be destroyed in one moment by some dickhead player or something.
Yeah, exactly. Luckily, we will be able to yell at each other in the wastelands.
Thank God.
There's going to be open mics, which is another thing as well from the Dark Zone, which people really loved, because they just decided that they want people to be able to communicate with each other. You can mute the open mic if you want, but basically if you run into someone out in the wild, and you can just start talking with them, which is going to definitely result in some interesting YouTube montages.
Yes, I was going to say, there's going to be some interesting stuff there. And it can be, I think some people will just go around trying to annoy people all the time until the mute button is just always on.
That's right. And finally, they talked about mods and private servers. So there's very clearly not going to be private servers and mods at launch.
But they did say it was definitely coming.
They did say that it's something that they're committed to solving.
Yep.
They did say that. Now, what form that takes, we don't know. It's been a very controversial approach to mods in the last little while with the Creation Club, paid mods. It's unclear whether or not Fallout 76 is going to have free mods or if it's only going to be paid. If I'm just to hazard a total guess, I'm going to guess they're going to have some kind of hybrid. Where they'll have some free mods that obviously don't affect any gameplay or whatever, and they'll have some paid mods that might affect gameplay depending on your servers.
Yeah.
They'll have some kind of hybrid approach. The Creation Club paid mods are something that Bethesda is clearly very committed to. I don't think they're going to raise the white flag here with this. Todd's basically said it's a difficult problem to solve, but they're committed to solving it. It's a big watch this space. I don't think we're going to see it in the first 3 to 6 months. I think it's a more long-term thing.
Yeah, I feel like it's once they've figured out the kinks.
Yeah, totally.
They're like, okay, let's start implementing this. That's what it feels like.
And Todd did say as well, there's a long roadmap for this game, very, very long. Look at this little guy. Can we see?
Yeah, there's a little kid
running around. Is he? Can we see him?
There
he goes. There he is. But look, that's it. Overall, here's the thing. It's a personal take on Fallout 76. Okay, I like that they're trying to do something different, and it's kind of like. It's almost a bit annoying that so many people are like, this is gonna suck. It's like, you don't know it's gonna suck, man. Maybe it's great. We don't know. It could be great, and I'm just I'm always willing to give developers a shot when they want to try something different.
I think it's good that they're being ambitious, they're trying new things. It's a tried and tested IP. People love it, and a lot of people do want to see, an online multiplayer experience with Fallout. So
yeah, totally.
It could be really, really cool.
So I'm certainly willing to give it a chance. I'm honestly looking forward to it. It's coming out in November. There's a beta in October. I definitely plan to play the shit out of it. I was a huge fan of Fallout 3. Fallout 4 obviously had its kinks, but overall I still enjoyed it. It just wasn't the best thing ever. But I'm honestly willing to give this a shot, you know what I mean? Because I think that if it works, it could be great. It's the first sort of AAA survival game that we've seen in that market. Let's hope that it's good. Anyway, guys, that's it. We've got Rage 2 coming up, which actually we can't do that video for a while, but we're going to do some Rage 2 hands-on.
Yes.
There'll probably be a look at the BYOC Center. We're going to check out some rigs, and that's probably going to be it for our coverage of QuakeCon 2018. It's been a great show, and we'll see you guys when we're safely back home in Sydney. See you, fam.